Adam had always been curious about the universe. As a student from Earth, he had spent months studying at the Leora Intergalactic Academy, learning about alien species, their customs, and their strange, glowing worlds. He liked the quiet of the evening, when the crystal forests outside the academy shimmered under the twin moons. The colors shifted slowly, from blue to green to soft violet, making the place look alive and magical. That evening, Adam decided to take a walk in the forest. He liked the soft hum of energy that seemed to rise from the crystals and the gentle glow that lit the paths. It felt peaceful, and it gave him time to think about his studies. He walked slowly, examining the crystals and noting the unusual patterns in his small notebook. He was alone, but he didn't feel afraid. Humans had learned to adapt in space, and Adam liked to think of himself as careful and observant. As he walked deeper, he heard a strange noise. It was soft at first, like a whisper, but then it became clearer. It was a cry, almost like someone calling for help. Adam froze for a moment, listening carefully. The sound was coming from a part of the forest he hadn't explored before. It was darker there, and the crystals seemed to twist strangely. Without thinking twice, Adam started moving toward the sound. The voice called again, more urgently. Soon, he saw it. A young woman was trapped beneath a fallen shard of living crystal. It was sharp and twisted, glowing red around the edges. The energy from the crystal pulsed slowly, as if it were alive. The girl tried to push the shard off herself, but it was heavy and dangerous. Adam could see that she was struggling and in pain. "Wait! I'll help you!" he shouted, running closer. The girl looked up, her eyes wide with fear and surprise. She had long silver hair that shimmered in the moonlight and bright green eyes that glowed faintly. Her skin was pale, almost translucent, and she wore a simple gown that seemed made of light. She was beautiful and delicate, yet there was a strength in her expression. "Please, hurry," she said, her voice trembling. Adam approached the shard carefully. He knew it could hurt him if he touched it wrong. He looked around and found a small lifting tool he carried in his pack for studying crystal formations. It wasn't made for heavy lifting, but it could work if he used it carefully. He placed it under the shard and pressed gently. The crystal shifted a little, and the girl gasped in relief. "Almost there," Adam said, trying to sound confident even though his heart was racing. He pressed harder, straining with all his strength. The crystal resisted at first, but finally, it moved just enough for the girl to pull herself free. She stumbled backward, coughing slightly, and Adam quickly supported her. She was trembling, but alive. He could see that she had scratches on her arms and legs from the shard, but nothing serious. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice soft but filled with gratitude. I didn't think anyone would come." Adam smiled gently. "I couldn't leave you there. Are you okay?" She nodded, still catching her breath. "I am. Thanks to you. I am Lyra, Princess of the Leoran Matriarchate." Adam blinked, surprised. "A princess? Here? In the forest?" Lyra nodded. "I was traveling in secret. The crystal forest shifted unexpectedly, and I was trapped. If you hadn't come—" She trailed off, looking at him with a mixture of awe and relief. Adam felt a strange sense of pride, mixed with nervousness. He had studied aliens, but meeting one in such a situation was unlike anything he had imagined. "I'm Adam," he said simply. "I'm a student here at the academy. Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you." Lyra smiled faintly, still leaning against a tree for support. "I can see that. You have courage, Adam, and kindness. Traits rare in humans, according to some of my people." Adam chuckled nervously. "I guess I just wanted to help. It seemed like the right thing to do." She studied him for a moment, her glowing eyes thoughtful. "The right thing to do. That is a quality we need more often. You saved my life tonight." Adam shook his head. I didn't do much. I just moved the shard. You moved more than a shard, she said softly. You moved fear, danger, and perhaps even doubt. Your courage has weight. Adam didn't know how to respond. He had never been praised like this, especially not by a princess from another world. He offered his hand to help her fully stand. She took it, and he felt a slight warmth as their hands touched. It was not just physical warmth, but something deeper, a connection of trust. We should get out of here, Adam said finally. The forest is dangerous at night. There are places where the crystals grow so fast that they can trap anyone. I know a path that leads back to the academy safely. Lyra nodded, letting him guide her. As they walked, she asked him questions about humans and the academy. Adam, in turn, asked her about her life, her people, and the palace she had escaped from. They walked slowly, and Adam was careful to keep her safe from low-hanging crystal shards and sudden energy pulses from the glowing plants. Do you often travel alone? Adam asked, trying to make small talk and hide his nervousness. Lyra shook her head. No. Normally, I am always with guards, but tonight I wanted to see the forest in its quiet state. I wanted freedom, even if only for a short while. I did not expect to be trapped. Adam nodded. Freedom can be risky, but sometimes it's worth it. You get to see things no one else does. She smiled faintly. Yes, and sometimes it brings unexpected allies. Adam looked at her, wondering if she meant him. He felt a small rush of warmth and awkwardness. He was not used to being called an ally by someone so important. The path back to the academy was tricky, winding through dense crystal clusters. Adam led the way carefully, using his small tool to break minor obstacles. Lyra followed closely, her hand occasionally brushing against his arm for balance. They spoke little, letting the quiet of the forest fill the space between them. The twin moons reflected in her eyes, making them look like tiny stars. Finally, they reached the edge of the academy grounds. The lights of the campus glowed warmly in the distance. Lyra paused, taking in the familiar structures. She turned to Adam, her face serious now. I must return to my palace soon, but I will not forget what you have done tonight. Humans are underestimated, Adam. I will remember that you saved me. Adam shrugged, feeling shy. I just did what anyone would do. No, she said firmly. Not anyone would risk themselves for a stranger. That is rare, that is human, but also extraordinary. Before he could respond, she looked around nervously. I must go now. The palace will send guards looking for me soon. Thank you again, Adam. You are remarkable. Adam watched her vanish into a shimmer of light, a small portal opening near the edge of the forest. He blinked, amazed. He had read about such portals, but seeing one in action was still astonishing. In a moment, she was gone. He stood there for a long time, staring at the empty forest. His heart was still racing from the encounter. He felt a mixture of excitement and disbelief. A real alien princess had been trapped, and he had rescued her, and she had remembered his name. Adam turned slowly back to the academy, his notebook forgotten. He had stories to tell, though he knew most would never believe him. But for Adam, the forest, the crystals, and the brave, green-eyed princess would remain vivid in his memory forever. As he walked back, he couldn't help but feel that this was just the beginning. Something had changed tonight. Something important. And he would have to prepare himself because the universe, it seemed, had taken notice of him. When he reached his dorm room, he leaned against the door and sighed. He was tired, but his mind raced with questions. Who exactly was Princess Lyra? What dangers did her world face? And why had he felt such a strange pull toward her, even though they had just met? Adam sat down at his desk, still in the glow of the twin moons outside his window. He opened his notebook and began writing, not about crystals this time, but about the events of the night. The words came quickly, as if the story needed to be recorded immediately. He wrote about the forest, the glowing crystals, and the fear in Lyra's eyes. He wrote about lifting the shard, her trembling hand, and the faint warmth when she touched his. He wrote about the portal and the way she had disappeared, leaving him alone, but changed. By the time he closed his notebook, the first light of the twin suns rose over the horizon. Adam knew sleep would not come easily, but he felt a quiet determination. He had met someone extraordinary tonight, someone whose life he had saved, and somehow he knew that meeting her was only the start of a journey that would change his life forever. Adam woke up the next morning feeling tired but excited. He had barely slept after meeting Lyra. The memory of her green eyes, her quiet voice, and the strange warmth he had felt when helping her stayed fresh in his mind. He kept wondering if she was safe and if she had reached her palace without trouble. He tried to focus on his classes, but his thoughts wandered again and again to her. The academy halls were quiet as usual. Alien students of many species moved around him, some floating, some walking, and others gliding smoothly. Adam tried to act normal, but he felt different, like he was carrying a secret too big for words. He walked into the lecture hall for his xenobiology class and took his seat. His friend Nora, another human student, sat beside him. She noticed his tired eyes. "You look like you didn't sleep at all. Did you stay up studying again?" Adam shook his head. "Not studying. Something happened. Something big." Nora raised her eyebrows. "Big like failing an exam, or big like almost getting eaten by a crystal beast?" Adam hesitated. He knew she wouldn't believe him if he told her. "I'll tell you later," he said quietly. Nora rolled her eyes but didn't push him. The class started, and the instructor began to talk about the interaction between living crystals and organic creatures. It should have been interesting, but Adam could barely focus. Every time he looked at the glowing diagrams on the board, he remembered the crystal shard that had trapped Lyra. Halfway through the class, a loud humming noise echoed through the hall. The lights flickered and everyone fell silent. The instructor paused, looking around in confusion. Then the humming grew louder, vibrating through the floor. Students whispered nervously. "What is that? Is it an earthquake? Is something happening outside?" Nora poked Adam's arm. "Do you know what's going on?" she whispered. Adam shook his head, but a feeling in his chest told him this was connected to last night. The doors of the lecture hall slid open with a sharp hiss. A group of tall armored guards stepped inside. Their armor glowed with the same soft blue patterns Adam had seen on Lyra's gown. They stood in 2 rows, creating a pathway. Another figure stepped forward, taller than the guards. She wore a long robe with gentle silver patterns flowing across it. Her hair was dark blue and tied back elegantly. Her expression was calm but firm. The instructor bowed immediately. "High Advisor Solara, we are honored. How may we help you?" The High Advisor did not smile. She scanned the room until her gaze fixed on Adam. He froze in his seat. "Adam of Earth," she said, "you will come with us." Nora gasped. "Adam, what did you do?" Adam's heart raced. Every student stared at him. He slowly stood up, trying to look calm even though he felt terrified. The guards stepped aside, allowing him to walk toward the High Advisor. She nodded once and led him out of the hall. As soon as the doors closed behind them, she spoke in a quieter voice. "You were in the Crystal Forest last night, correct?" Adam swallowed hard. "Yes, I was taking a walk." "And you encountered Princess Lyra?" Adam nodded slowly. "Yes, she was trapped. I helped her." The High Advisor's stern expression softened slightly. Her return caused great concern at the palace. She was injured and her gown was damaged. She told us you saved her. The Queen herself wishes to see you. Adam felt his stomach drop. The Queen? Why would she want to see me? I'm just a student. A student who saved the life of the heir to the throne, Solara said. Come, the palace awaits. The guards escorted him out of the academy. A large transport vessel waited outside, hovering a few feet above the ground. Its surface shimmered with energy and symbols Adam couldn't read. Students gathered at the windows to watch. Some pointed at him. Some whispered. Adam climbed aboard, feeling small among the towering guards. The doors closed and the vessel rose smoothly into the air. He looked out of the window, watching the academy grow smaller. His heart pounded. He had wanted adventure, but this was far more than he had imagined. The vessel flew over the city of Leora, where tall, glowing towers and floating platforms shimmered under the sun. The air traffic moved smoothly around them. Adam watched everything with wide eyes. He had seen the city before, but never from this height. After a few minutes, the vessel approached a massive structure in the center of the city. It looked like a giant flower made of crystal, its petals stretching toward the sky. This was the royal palace, home of the Leoran matriarchate. The vessel landed gently on a platform and the doors opened. Solara gestured for Adam to follow. They walked through a large corridor with high ceilings and soft, glowing walls. Everything looked elegant and peaceful. Finally, they reached a chamber where Lyra stood waiting. She wore a fresh gown, soft blue with silver lines. She looked healthier and calmer than she did the night before. When she saw Adam, her face brightened. Adam, she said softly, I am glad you came. Adam felt his nerves settle a little. I'm glad you're okay. I was worried. Lyra smiled. Thanks to you, I am safe. Before Adam could say more, another figure entered the room. She was tall, with long silver hair and a calm, powerful presence. Her eyes were the same bright green as Lyra's. Adam immediately recognized her. The Queen. Adam bowed awkwardly, not sure if he was doing it right. Your Majesty, I hope I didn't do anything wrong. The Queen studied him quietly. You did not wrong anyone. In fact, you did something very few would have done. You entered a dangerous forest alone and saved my daughter. Adam tried to speak, but the Queen raised her hand gently. Lyra told me everything, she said. She told me how you acted without fear, without hesitation, and without thinking of reward. That is rare, even among our own people. Adam felt his face warm with embarrassment. I just wanted to help. Anyone would have. The Queen shook her head. Not anyone. Courage comes in many forms, and last night you showed a kind that cannot be taught. She paused. You saved the future of our people? Adam's eyes widened. The future? Lyra stepped closer. Mother means that if something had happened to me, it would have caused great grief in the matriarchate. Our traditions are strict. Our line is small. My life carries weight for the entire nation. Adam looked down, feeling the gravity of her words. I didn't know. And yet you helped her, the Queen said. That makes your act even more meaningful. One of the guards stepped forward and presented a small glowing crystal. The Queen took it in her hands. Atom of Earth, she said. By the right of the throne, I wish to honor you for your bravery. You will be given a place at tonight's ceremony where your name will be remembered with respect. Adam's heart pounded faster. A ceremony? In the palace? His hands felt cold. I don't know what to say, he whispered. Lyra looked at him with warmth. You do not need to say anything. Your actions already spoke clearly. The Queen stepped closer and placed the glowing crystal in his hands. It felt warm and smooth. This is a symbol of trust, she said. "It means that the palace recognizes your courage. Keep it with you." Adam nodded slowly. "Thank you. I will take care of it." Solara approached again. "You will remain in the palace until the ceremony. A room has been prepared for you. You may rest or explore as you wish, but guards will guide you." Adam looked at Lyra. She smiled gently. "Do not worry. The palace is peaceful, and I will see you again before the ceremony." He felt a strange comfort in her words. Solara guided him through more hallways. The palace was even larger than he imagined. Soft light filled every room, and the crystal walls reflected gentle colors. Visitors of many species walked through the corridors, speaking softly or studying holographic displays. Finally, Solara opened a door. "This is your room," she said. Adam stepped inside. The room was beautiful but simple. A soft bed, a small desk, a window showing the whole city, and a gentle hum of energy in the walls. "If you need anything, touch the panel by the door," Solara said. Then she left. Adam sat on the bed, stunned. He looked out the window at the glowing city below. Only last night he had been an unknown student walking through the forest. Now he was in the palace, waiting for a ceremony in his honor. His mind raced with questions. Why did the queen treat him with such importance? What did this ceremony mean? And why did Lyra look at him with such warmth and trust? Adam knew one thing for sure. His life had changed, and he was no longer just a visitor on this planet. The events of last night had set him on a path he could not yet understand. As he lay back on the bed, he wondered what the ceremony would bring and what his connection with Lyra would lead to. He closed his eyes, letting the soft hum of the palace ease his thoughts. But even in the calm, he felt something growing inside him, a sense that his future was no longer his alone, and that something greater waited for him just beyond the next sunrise. Adam woke early the next morning in the palace. Light filtered through the crystal windows, painting soft colors across the floor. He stretched and rubbed his eyes. Last night's events felt like a dream. He was still unsure if it was real, but the glow of the city and the hum of the palace reminded him it was not. He got up and opened the window. From here he could see the palace gardens, full of glowing plants and flowers that shifted colors in the sunlight. Small fountains bubbled, and alien creatures moved gently along the paths. The city beyond looked alive and vibrant. Adam felt a mixture of awe and nervousness. He knew he was not just a visitor anymore. He was somehow part of this palace, even if only temporarily. There was a soft knock at the door. Adam turned and saw a young Lyran attendant, a girl with silver hair like Lyra's, holding a small tray with breakfast. She bowed slightly. "Good morning, Adam. Breakfast is ready," she said softly. Adam smiled and thanked her. He took the tray and sat by the window. The food was strange but appealing. Some of it glowed faintly, and other parts shimmered like liquid light. He took small bites, enjoying the flavors and textures. It felt peaceful here, even though he knew that a grand ceremony awaited him. After breakfast, there was another knock. This time it was Lyra herself. She entered the room quietly, smiling. "Good morning," she said. "Did you sleep well?" Adam nodded. "As well as I could. It's a lot to take in." Lyra walked closer, glancing around the room. "I thought you might like a tour before the ceremony. It is not required, but it might make things easier. You can see parts of the palace few outsiders ever see." Adam felt nervous, but excited. "I would like that. Thank you." She gestured for him to follow. They walked through the long hallways, passing guards and attendants who bowed politely. Adam noticed how carefully everyone looked at him. He realized that people here treated him with respect, probably because of what he did for Lyra. Lyra showed him the gardens first. There were flowers that hummed softly, trees that moved gently even without wind, and fountains that sparkled with tiny lights. Adam touched one of the flowers carefully. It felt warm, almost alive. Lyra watched him with curiosity. "You are very careful," she said. "Many humans would be clumsy here." Adam smiled. "I don't want to break anything. This place is beautiful." They moved to the library next. The library was enormous, with shelves that stretched to the ceiling and floating books that hovered in the air. Adam had never seen anything like it. He reached out to touch one of the books, and it floated gently into his hands. "These books are older than my palace," Lyra explained. "They contain knowledge from our ancestors and many other worlds. You may read them if you wish. I think you will find some interesting things about humans and our interactions." Adam nodded, feeling excited. He had always loved learning, and now he had access to knowledge few humans ever saw. He opened one book carefully and began flipping through the pages, filled with illustrations and writing that glowed faintly. Lyra watched him quietly. "You are different from other humans I have met," she said softly. "Most are proud or impatient. You are patient and curious. You listen before you speak. You think before you act." Adam felt a little shy. "I try to. I want to understand things, not just react." She smiled. "That is why I trust you. Not everyone would have helped me last night, and not everyone here would have understood why you acted as you did." They walked to the palace training grounds next. There, guards practiced with weapons that glowed with energy. Some moved so fast they appeared as streaks of light. Adam watched with wide eyes. He had studied combat techniques in theory, but never seen them performed like this. "You do not need to fight," Lyra said, "but it is important to know what my people do. Perhaps you will understand the strength required to protect even a single life." Adam nodded, absorbing everything. He noticed the discipline and focus of the guards. They moved not with anger, but with precision and care. He realized that Leora valued skill and thought over brute strength alone. After the tour, they returned to Lyra's private chambers. She sat by a window, looking out at the city. "Adam," she said after a moment of silence, "I wanted to ask you something. Why did you help me? You did not know me, and yet you risked yourself." Adam thought for a moment. "I guess I wanted to help because it was the right thing to do. I don't know if it's bravery or luck. I just didn't want to leave you there." Lyra's eyes softened. "You are honest. That is why I trust you. Most people think of what they can gain. You think of what must be done." Adam felt a warmth in his chest. He had never been praised for this kind of character. It was strange and comforting. The morning passed quickly. Guards arrived to escort Adam to the ceremony. Lyra accompanied him to the main hall. The hall was enormous, with high ceilings and walls that glowed softly. Crystals hung like chandeliers, reflecting colors across the room. Many nobles, advisors, and officials were present, all watching as Adam entered. He felt nervous under their gaze. Lyra noticed and gently touched his arm. "Do not worry," she whispered. "You are here because of what you did. No one can take that from you." Adam nodded, trying to calm himself. The queen entered the hall, her presence commanding silence. She looked at Adam with respect and warmth. "Adam of Earth," she said, "you have done a deed that will be remembered for generations. You risked your life for my daughter. For that, you are honored by the matriarchate." Adam bowed deeply. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I only did what I thought was right." The queen smiled. "Sometimes, what is right is not easy. You have shown courage and humility. Tonight you will dine with the royal family. You will be recognized not just as a student, but as an honored guest." Gasps of surprise passed through the crowd. Adam felt overwhelmed. This was far beyond anything he had imagined when he came to Leora to study. Lyra stepped closer to the queen. "Mother, Adam deserves this. He saved me when all seemed lost." The queen nodded. "Indeed, you have earned more than recognition. You have earned trust." Adam felt his hands shake slightly. The crystal in his pocket warmed against his skin, reminding him of the night in the forest. He had saved a princess, and now the palace acknowledged him for it. After the ceremony, Adam was shown to a guest room near the royal family's quarters. He had time to rest before dinner. The room was elegant but simple, with soft lighting and a small desk by the window. He sat on the bed, thinking about everything that had happened. The palace, Lyra, the queen's words. It all felt overwhelming. When evening came, Adam dressed in the garments provided by the palace. They were simple robes, soft and comfortable, with subtle glowing patterns. He followed a guide to the dining hall, where the royal family and their advisors waited. Lyra greeted him warmly and took his hand for a brief moment, guiding him to a seat beside her. Adam felt nervous but also comforted by her presence. The dinner was an experience unlike any he had known. Food glowed softly on the plates, and each dish had a unique taste and texture. Conversation flowed easily. Lyra explained customs and traditions quietly, helping Adam understand the words and gestures of the other guests. The queen spoke to Adam often, asking questions about Earth, about humans, and about Adam's life before arriving on Leora. He answered honestly, sharing stories about his studies and his family. The queen listened intently, nodding with interest. Throughout the evening, Adam realized something important. He was no longer just a student studying alien life. He was part of something bigger, something meaningful. He had formed a bond with Lyra, gained the trust of the queen, and seen a world few humans ever witnessed. As the dinner ended, Lyra walked with him to a balcony overlooking the city. The lights shimmered like stars, and the twin moons rose slowly in the sky. "Adam," Lyra said softly, "I am glad you are here. Not just in the palace, but here, with me. You showed strength and kindness. These qualities matter more than anyone realizes." Adam felt a quiet sense of pride. "I only did what I could. I didn't expect any of this." Lyra smiled. "That is what makes it real. Courage without expectation is rare. That is why I trust you, Adam, and I hope you will stay near me, not as a guest, but as a friend." Adam looked at her, feeling the depth of her words. He had saved a princess, and now he was more than a stranger. He had a connection he could not ignore. As the night deepened, Adam returned to his room, thinking about the day. He had learned much, seen more, and felt something new stirring in his heart. Lyra was more than a princess. She was someone who had trusted him when it mattered most, and he knew that trust would guide the journey ahead. He lay down, the soft hum of the palace filling the room. Sleep came slowly, but he welcomed it, ready for whatever tomorrow would bring. Because Adam understood now that his life on Leora had changed forever, and that this was only the beginning.